Hey friends, hey peeps, happy Monday. Coming at you with a Brittany life lesson or something like that. I don't even know what we can call it. But I was having some chats today with some friends, actually one or two specifically, because it was a super busy day. I was 100% disconnected from reality this weekend and it was amazing. Gave me some time to think and reflect and come back with like a renewed sense of, I wouldn't say purpose, but definitely with a focus, right? Because I've started to realize, and it's definitely a trend. So we have, of course, in my business, we have team pages within Facebook where, we talk business and we talk inspiration and motivation and all that kind of good stuff. But a business like this attracts a certain type of person, right? Someone who's going to, especially someone where it's their side hustle. So this is, lipstick and makeup and stuff is my side hustle, and I have a job during the day. So those are the tens of people I attract. So people like that tend to be type A for the most part, overachievers, excellers, high expectations, goal setting. And also, honestly, the people I'm friends with are associated and aligned with that as well, because like attracts like, right? So the people you're like, or what you value, of course, is what you want to look for in your friends. And if you're smart, you choose your friends wisely and those you associate with, because if you didn't know, the 5 people you spend the most time with are what you're going to be like. So you start to emulate them and become them, say the things that they say. So if it's negative, you're going to start thinking negative. If it's positive, you're going to start thinking positive. So if you didn't know that, but I'm definitely surrounded by a lot of positive, high expectation, overachievers, people who excel and expect a lot out of themselves. And I was talking with my best friend today, and she wears many hats. So I might wear many hats, but she's a mom of 2 currently, 7 or 8 months pregnant. No, definitely 8 months pregnant with number 3 in 3 years. Of course, has a husband, and she works a full-time job, and she's starting lipstick side business as well. So she's literally doing it all. And I got to thinking, and she said something about the fact that she wanted to get a lot done, but didn't. And I could sense that she was beating herself up for it and because of it. And it got me to thinking that I absolutely 100% do the same thing. This morning in our entrepreneurship groups and things like that, we were talking about this book called Grace Over Perfection, and it just resonated with me, right? Because when I was away, I was thinking of how much I have to get done and all the things I want to do, and regarding my side business, right? Because I always get my business work, corporate job stuff done, but the stuff that's slightly negotiable, right? It's easier to let go. But when I was away, of course, I have a to-do list like this long times 15, right? But that to-do list, if I really got down to thinking it when I came back, was it important or was it critical, right? So we expect a lot from ourselves, and comparison game is real and true, and you can compare yourself to other people and say, I wish I had done that, or I thought about that, or I need to do that. But in reality, the question is, do you really need to do that, right? Do you really need to do that activity? Or do you really need to do that craft project with your kids? Do you really need to clean out that drawer? Is that little task life-changing or business-changing or family-changing or literally just critical to your day? And if it is, then you need to do it, right? But 9 times out of 10, we're giving ourselves actions to do by choice and by setting high expectations with, don't get me wrong, those who set the bar high achieve more. Let's be real, right? If you have high aspirations and a good work ethic, you can achieve 10 times more than anyone who's smart. I'm definitely proof of that. A lot of people I've been surrounded by are 10 times smarter than I am, and I'm 10 times more successful than they are, right? It's not smarts, it's work ethic. So setting the bar high is a good thing, but there comes a certain point where I just want to speak life into many of you that I'm sure are suffering through the same thing, and it is grant yourself some grace. Grant yourself some grace that you're not going to be able to do it all. Right? You are not going to be the mom who's going to do it all, including the Pinterest crafts and the end of year school gifts and the yada yada, right? There's just not enough time in the day. So my suggestion, and this is why I had this clear thought, is because I came back from New Hampshire and I just thought to myself, you know what? I'm wiping the slate, and I've done this many times. I'm wiping the slate clean, right? There's no more past of what my to-do list should have been for the last week or month or 6 months since I've started this business, right? It's just, I clearly didn't die. My business is clearly successful, right? Things are still afloat. Things are still going in the right direction. It's clean, clear slate. Same with if your children are still alive, if they're breathing and they have clothes on, and they have food on the table, they're still alive. Whatever you wanted to get done, just wipe the slate clean, right? Just get rid of it. And then ask yourself here going forward, what is the most important thing I need to do today? So I asked myself that this morning, and I quickly just went into action and did that one thing that I knew was super important, or I knew that would make an impact in my business or the week going forward, in my personal life or whatever it may be. So I created, asked my team who wanted to be involved in a certain training that's going to have a certain level of expectations to move their business forward. But instead of thinking about it and trying to make it perfect, I just granted myself some grace over perfection. I threw the idea out there, and I'm just going to go with it, right? So there comes a certain point where you're just going to have to say that it's better just to get it done than it is to get it done perfect. And I'm sure from the people that I attract and the people I know and the people I like, you're perfectionists. You're like me. You want it all to be perfect. You want it to be pretty. I love things that are pretty, as you can see, like by my design and decor and stuff like that. I can't function in non-pretty spaces, but that is literally true. I literally can't. So, but it's better just to have it done, right? At the end of the day, whatever girl bosses are on here, just get it done. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be absolutely beautiful. I'm sure there's room for improvement, but just get it done. So wipe the slate clean. Ask yourself what you really need to get done today, and then do it, of course, and just get it done regardless of how perfect it is. And ask yourself, if I don't get this done today, is it between that life or death? Or maybe not extreme as life or death. Is if the bills aren't going to get paid and you're going to bounce a check, then it needs to be done, right? If there's a repercussion for not doing it. But 9 times out of 10, you can probably toss some things off your to-do list. And then I know this is pretty common when it comes to running a business or a side business, but I don't think in most people's lives it is. Let me grab my planner. This is a planner I bought last year, and I'm addicted to it. And I bought it again this year, and it is pricey. So I'm not saying you have to buy this one. But of course, I use it as a tax write-off for my business. But it's called the Day Designer. Can you see that? Kind of, sort of, not really. Regardless, you can Google it. You can look it up. It's called the Day Designer. And the reason I like it is because every day on the top, it says today's top 3. Yeah, you cannot get out of cooking dinner tonight unless you just want to order pizza, and that's always an option, right? It says today's top 3, and the reason I like that is because I am a creature of creating I have multiple Post-it notes, and these usually all contain to-do lists, right? So, of course, I think of these good ideas or come up with them, and I write them on Post-it notes, and by the end of the day, I have 17 things on my to-do list, and I got 2 done. And then I get super overwhelmed and frustrated, right? Because I didn't get that done. I wish I had done that, and yada, yada, yada. If I don't do it today, then it's not going to get done tomorrow, and then I go into like a tailspin of guilt and shame and annoyance and frustration, and then I just go to bed feeling like that, which is never a good thing because you're not going to wake up refreshed, right? But if you do those today's top 3, and for any of my girl bosses out there, you can do business and personal life. So for me today, it was to make a doctor's appointment because I have a reoccurring health issue that just refuses to go away. So I'm going back for the 3rd time. So that was critical. I had to call Mick Blingsley a grooming appointment because he's mad from going in the waterfalls this weekend. And the 3rd one was to create this training for my team, right? Those were my 3 non-negotiables that needed to get done today. And if they didn't get done, there was going to be some repercussions. My health is obviously important. Blingsley doesn't have time to get to the groomers next week because I'm having my team come to Boston for a retreat and stuff like that. So if it doesn't get done this week, it's not getting done for the next month because then we're going to Pittsburgh and then I'm going to Texas, all for lipstick. So if it didn't get done, it wasn't going to get done for a while and he's going to probably die of heat exhaustion. And then lastly, the 3rd one is I need to keep my ladies moving forward in their business. That's my job as leader, right? So those 3 things were non-negotiable. They got done with flying colors. They got done by, 3 or 4 o'clock. And then anything else I get done today is an added bonus, right? I'm not saying set the bar low, but I'm saying set the bar strategically. so that you can grant yourself some grace. Instead of perfection, instead of trying to do the Holy Grail and be a superhuman person, get done what needs to get done, and anything else is literally a pat on the back. Like, I just went live in my shop and showed them how to do my eyeshadow since I had just worn something basic. I was like, oh, I'll do my eyeshadow for you guys. And that was an added bonus. I didn't expect to get that done today, right? It was something beyond. Now I just feel like a rock star. And then we're having leftovers for dinner, so that's going to be easy. And then I'm going to be on a team call, right? I'm doing things that are making me proud instead of making me frustrated. And I think 9 times out of 10, we get really hard and harsh on ourselves. If you're, this type of person, of course, low battery. If you're this type of person, you're going to get harsh and critical of yourself. And I know we all do that. But the more you can do positive speak to yourself instead of negative self-talk, the better you're going to be, the better you're going to be to your family and your friends and your children. It's just going to be a cycle. So if you can get yourself out of this cycle today, my advice is to wipe the slate clean, ask yourself if it's critical, set those top 3 priorities, get them done, and then applaud yourself for anything beyond that. And lastly, just grant yourself some grace. Grace over perfection, you guys. Grace over perfection. It's going to be okay, right? You're going to get it done, and it's going to be lovely. Whatever you send your kids out with, what mismatched clothes or whatever it may be, you don't get all those decorations for the baby shower done, life will go on, right? It will go on. I can assure you that. But now it is time to get back to my wine, do some stuff for my team. I'm going to pat myself on the back, relax a little bit, and do a team call. So hopefully for those people who are just like me and they're pretty, tough on themselves, grant yourself some grace, ladies, and just go tackle the day and make yourself proud with 3 things, right? 3 things. All right, you guys, have a great night.